Okay.
This is the cable, main cable input to the house.
We're in the addition. We're in the what you're going to use probably as your office upstairs.
What I use as an office. And so this box here is the cable modem that Time Warner provides. And then I had it cabled to this box, which is an Apple, they call it an airport, or Airport Express.
So that's a wireless modem.
It's a wireless access point.
And this works in conjunction with the wireless extender that we saw downstairs in the pool table room.
Right, so in our house, this will get to about 2/3 of it, but to get to the whole house, flood the whole house with Wi-Fi, I found that you needed an extender too.
Okay.
So we did both. This I have to return to Time Warner to get my deposit back, but if he gets
They'll
cable,
just come
they'll
out and
bring
put it up, yeah.
a brand new one. And then the Apple stuff I'm taking, so.
This is just going to be a little fort playroom for the boys.
The heaters are in those two closets for this part of the house.
Well, this we've seen in this is relevant now. Okay, now we're still in the addition office area.
So when we built this as an addition, we plumbed it for a separate kitchen apartment, like a mother-in-law's apartment. Our parents are getting older, who knows. But in the wall here, somewhere between here and here, and I'm not exactly sure where, but you've got all the stub outs for hot and cold water and waste. And so this could be configured as a kitchen area for a separate apartment. It's got its own entrance, a bedroom, bathroom. But you wouldn't know that unless I told you. So inside this wall, so any contractor would just pull the drywall out. He'd say, okay, all the stub outs are there. Electrical, power, water, hot water, cold water, and waste.
Perfect. That's a great addition. That's really good thinking forward. Planning ahead.
Which is there.
We're in the. Let me just get some reference. So we're from the garage into the pantry.
Yeah.
And these are those switches that we saw up at the top.
Those are for Christmas lights or Hanukkah lights or whatever you want. So
they're actually one of each, so it's good.
So in the corner of the eaves, the rafters, and like the four corners, is a plug-in.
Okay.
And so you could plug the lights in there and then turn them on here.
One switch for each of those four plugs.
There's like 4 different boxes. You'll see them. You just walk around and look under the eaves. You'll see I'll show you one right here that's handy. It was a good idea, except that
it's really hard to get to.
It's a little hard to get to, and what we ended up using was just cheap timers
to
just turn them off and on. So that's what they're for. I'm not sure how useful they are. This is the phone system, which I'm going to actually pull out, but that's the panel. That's the panel where all the phone wires in the house terminate. And that's, that's the box coming in.
When the phone company comes to install the phone, this is where they'll come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever the guy is, he'll know what to do when he sees that.
Go on again for the. Okay, this is the central vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. It's got a bag that you replace periodically, and I'll show you where.
Did you replace it, or do you just empty it out?
Either. They're paper, kind of like disposable things.
Okay.
And we've got a bunch, so I'll show that they're in a closet.
Okay.
It's not too often. Every 6 months or so, you pull it out, throw it away, throw a new one in. But this has then outlets kind of scattered throughout the house. There's one for the garage here. And you just plug in the hose, and it's got an electrical connection, and it turns on the back. So there's, I think, 2 downstairs, 2 or 3 upstairs, 1 in the garage. There's an extra hose in the garage. You can use that to vacuum out your car or whatever.
Which is new for them, because living in New York, they don't have cars.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a car for many years.
Welcome back to California. This is the irrigation for most of the front of the house, and it's got, again, everything labeled here. And I let my guys, they just do most of that.
The gardener knows what he's doing.
This is the timer for the landscape lighting. So I think we've got 6 of the big trees in front are lit. And they come on, well right now they come on at 6 and they go off at 11. You can set it whatever time you want. But that way you don't ever have to think about it. They just come on, they go off.
Yep.
Might want to put a utility sink in the garage. We just never did. But in this wall here is water and waste. I'm not 100% sure where it's at, but it's somewhere right in here.
So they could put a sink in here if they want to have a sink in the garage.
Sink, and we just never did, but it's plumbed for us. So we've got hot and cold water and a waste line on the sink.
I know this is.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of comments on the septic system. We're in the front of the house. Here's the front of the house.
So those two big green manhole covers here, that's the actual septic tank. There's two chambers, and if it ever needs to be pumped out, that's how you access it.
And you're pumping it every 3 or 4 years-ish.
Yeah.
You just had it done last year.
Yeah.
We saw from the receipts.
It'll be good for a while.
And what is this?
So the way the septic system works is you've got this big tank here, kind of captures all the particulate matter, the solids. If you will.
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin, very nice. Tactfully put.
And then there's two huge pits that go down. This is the top of it. They're 10 feet underground from the top, but then they're about 6 feet in diameter, and then they go down 40 or 50 feet below that. So I mean, if you ever look down, it just goes forever. That's where the water goes in, and then it kind of percolates back
So
out.
this is the leach field. This is what's called the leach field in the front.
So a leach field technically is when you have lines running back and forth.
Uh-huh.
These are vertical pits.
Okay.
Called seepage pits.
So the seepage pits are in the front of the house.
Correct.
Nice. So anything in the
one.
back, they can dig in the back.
You can do anything.
Nice.
That's one
a
you
good
need to
feature.
know. And here's the top of the other one, right there.
I see two tops. You're
I'm
three.
going to show you about those.
Okay.
In a so that's the other pit right there. So those are the tops, big 6-foot diameter bricked in pits that go down.
So we want to keep
50
the
feet.
growth away from this a little bit, just so we know it's there in the future.
I never think about it. Every once in a while, if I need to get to them, I just kind of scoot stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
These two, they all look the same, but these two covers. Actually, let me see if I can pull one off here. Yeah. There's two. Let me get out of the way. Two handles there, and those are valves. So up is closed, up is open, down is closed. And what we've done historically is we've just alternated between the two pits every year or two to give them a rest. So I think right now we're using this one, and then maybe next year we just reverse them and use that one.
So we're here from the front of the house, and in the front of the house, in the front of the lawn, that's one pit. That's pit number one. And then if we pan over, we have the two axis control switches to switch between pits. And then this, in the bushes, is the other pit.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're pretty simple. They're just valves. Up is open, down is closed. So when you have one open and the other closed, then everything's diverted into the one pit. If you go the other direction, everything's diverted into that pit. And this is all happening like 10 or 12 feet below us. I mean, it's like way down there.
Okay.
When they did these, I mean, dirt was just hogged out, you know, as high as you can see, and they put all this stuff in, set all the plumbing, and then backfilled it all for the landscape.
This is the front of the house,
Steve, hold that for me, would you?
and we're now at the side, to the left side of the front of the house.
Oh, it's got a screw in it. I can't take it apart. But so this is that's just a cover. There's nothing fancy about that. In there's a little tiny pump, air pump, and it's plugged in here, and it just runs 24/7, 365. You really don't have to do anything about it, but the theory is it's pumping air into the septic system, and there's bacteria in there that loves oxygen, and it just oxygenates that, and it helps the bacteria break everything down faster. That's why we don't have to pump it very often. And so this is called a piranha system, and I've got some documents in the kitchen there that you can have. But this is, a lot of people started doing this, about 5, 6, 8 years ago to improve the efficiency of their septic systems. So we have one, the Lewises have one, they've got something similar.